What we do here is we collect waste electronics from a household waste site. Over 1,000 tonnes a month comes into us for recycling. Within the waste electronics, there's all kinds of valuable raw materials, from metal to plastic to copper to cable. What we have to do before we put in the waste electronics into our plant is make sure that we've taken out any rubbish elements and any hazardous elements, like a TV can't go through this plant, but pretty much everything else can. And once we're happy with it, it gets pushed into an in-feed conveyor belt and fed through the rest of our plant. Our waste electronics is recycled using these chains. We have two in the bottom of this cylinder, spinning all the waste electronics together. What it has the effect of is creating a cyclone of waste electronics bashing into each other. So a vacuum cleaner will hit a printer, will hit a computer, and that will disassemble and actually exit the machine as recognisable, saleable commodities. From the disassembler, the waste electronics travels up this conveyor belt, but all mixed together, and we have to make it easier to separate the products. The smaller sections travel on through a couple of filters that take off the very small, fine sections. Our large sections are presented to this magnet, which carries everything attracted by a magnet onto the far conveyor belt, and everything not attracted by a magnet onto this belt. So you'll end up with things like stainless steel, plastic, anything that's not been attracted by the magnet on here, and then we can hand pick out in here. This stage is about hand separation. Our operatives know exactly what they're looking for by the pictures above their desks and dropping them down each relevant chute. There is a hazardous element within waste electronics, and it's crucial to hand pick this out. Things like batteries and capacitors, if they end up in landfill, has an effect of poisoning the water table, so it's absolutely imperative that they come out with very specialist recycling. This next stage is the eddy current separator. It uses an electric charge to separate plastic from non-ferrous metal. What's happening here is there's a wave of plastic being encouraged downwards by the charge, and at the same time aluminium is being thrown forward and separated by this plate. So there you go, a nice piece of aluminium. This is our last stage for our plastic. It drops through this invention here, which looks a little something like out of Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, but it's quite easy to understand. It's called a zigzag air separator. The plastic drops from the top through the zigzag, and at the same time, air is being blown back up to take the rubbish element into our rubbish container, and that leaves behind a nice, really very desirable plastic itself. Super clean, valuable, desirable.